Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Everybody, welcome back to Bullits Bourbon podcast, episode 51 on this Friday night. Dan's already upset with us because this is take two.
Take three or four.
It is. Come on, man. Anyways, tonight we got some fun stuff lined up. We're going to do a little blind on the guys to see how stupid their palates are. And we got a little whiskey talk to talk about. But we want to welcome our intern, Matt. Welcome, Matt. He's over there watching. We had to find somebody that could handle our stupid and kind of keep us in line. Thank God we got somebody now. And we have Jim and Connor, of course, who've been on the show a bunch. They're here to laugh at us and make fun of us because, well, it's what we do. So without further ado, you guys want to do this blind?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the blind lined up, and it's 3 bottles. 2 of them, which are fan favorites, right? Eagle Rare 10 and Blanton's, and then Benchmark. I want to say that's the. Hand me that. I didn't look at the bottle. Single barrel. So, you guys are just going to we're going to put this to the test to see what shakes out as what.
Well, I think a big reason why we're doing the blind tonight is Dan earlier this week put a little post on the podcast here. ER Blands, which one would you pick right here? And the overwhelming response seemed to be, what, like 80% said Eagle Rare, correct?
Yeah, ER.
And I think most of us thought Bland's walking into it, though.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. But surprisingly, I was wrong.
Here we are, and so we're let's blind it and see what we think tonight.
First, talk about prices on these bottles real quick. ER goes for what? Normally, like in the real world.
I want to say Pennsylvania, retails $30-some, though, not above 40. Secondary, usually $60 in some of these group. Your Blanton's here in PA is about $72, $73. Secondary, $100, $110 for your Blanton's. Benchmark,
20,
I don't know.
15?
Jim, I say Jim, yeah. 20 plus.
Just over there like 2-0, bro.
Just go to your your local distillery and look at the bottom shelf, and for $20, I guess, or second shelf up, you'd find the Benchmark.
We'll see if that really matters or not.
It may not, yeah.
Because I'm curious. So, you guys don't know what you're drinking. I do know what you're drinking, I think. Did I write it down? Shit. No, I'm good. I'm going to wing that shit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So start off with the large Glencairn. I can't remember now. Thank you.
I'm actually really happy you didn't go crazy stupid this time.
Listen, I was responsible, which is a rare thing. While you're doing that, I'm drinking EHT Barrel Proof Rye, right?
Well, he gave us
here's some Benchmark.
Yeah, I'm drinking the Barrel Proof because it's just splendid, and why not? Thank you, Connor.
Tonight, why you don't get the big pour, Dan? You get the poor man's pour then compared to the EHT Barrel Proof.
Will you shut up and drink?
It is what it is.
God.
I got citrus on the nose, citrus on the palate.
Citrusy, sweet.
Yeah,
mild.
very, very sweet.
Very, very easy sipper, though. Mm-hmm. I mean, no shocker with it.
Raises the eyebrows a little bit, first sip, but
yeah, there's a little heat on it, not too crazy.
All right. So now, move on to if you're done, move on to your blue tape. You should look through the bottom of the glass. You can see a little piece of painter's tape I put on the bottom there. I'm so glad that the Marine didn't just tip the cup over. Look at the bottom. Stick it in there. You know what to do.
Smells like ethanol.
There's too much dead air.
If I had to guess.
Don't guess yet. Don't guess yet.
Well, based off my remembrance of ER and Blanton's, I could take a guess of what this is.
Well, just don't guess. Just drink it.
Yeah, don't ruin it.
And then you're going to rank it. It's really easy.
Well, I'm going to put that third right now without even trying number 2.
That was number 2. I hate to tell you, Army guy can't count. Roman place was number 3.
Yeah, you're not counting your club pour.
I'm already putting it number 3.
He just puts it on the edge of the bar.
Even though I haven't had a second one, this is going to be 3.
Oh, Jesus! All right,
Matt, can you edit out stupid? I need some help clearly.
Yeah,
So.
like all of him. And just cut him out. We'll just use a hand puppet, kind of like Diddy does, right?
Oh God.
Oh,
Initially,
God.
that one is a little bit
All right.
smoother. Aftertaste is a little funky.
On the number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So third one, guys. I love blinds. Blinds are the ultimate equalizer
This has
in
blue
whiskey.
tape too.
Yep.
Oh God, Ty. Well, who let the Marine here?
Can you spell marine? Try it. You're struggling right now, aren't you, Army?
I was trying to come up with something good to
I
spell.
know you
Something
were.
other than
You
Marine.
couldn't
Nothing was
spell it
coming to
out,
my
like-
brain. I'm still
like,
trying
let's-
to. It just on the palate.
Did you
just
try
was
3?
Not, I have not tried 3 yet.
Come on, we're on 3.
On the palate, was just, I'm still just trying to get past that though.
You're still upset by number 2?
I am.
Ugh, come on.
I really want to see how good his palate is because he always says it's shit.
Who?
Craig.
Yeah.
Every episode, I got a crap palate. Da 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 da.
This
Well.
is much smoother. Obviously lower proof again though too. It's
Okay.
It's a pleasure.
I love the way he twirls it around. If you notice when he does it, he twirls his head in one direction and the glass in the other. It's like an adult movie star.
I'm
He's
trying
like,
to walk to here. I'm trying to.
Put your pinky out when you do that.
yeah. Well,
That one's pretty pleasant.
everybody else is done, and you're sitting over here just nose fucking your glass.
all
You
right.
realize that?
I'm going to go ahead and rank these.
Okay, you go.
I'm going
dude.
to rank them completely backwards. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. 3
Okay,
was the
so-
better one out of the 3. 2 was right there, and 1 was.
One was the big glass.
Yeah.
So put your cups in order, left to right, up to down, back to forth.
You're left to right or they're left to right?
Oh, geez, here we go. This is really complicated for you.
It is.
All right, so you had number 3 was your number 1,
Yep, number 2 was my number 2.
and number 1 was your number 3.
3.
Ty,
Same 3 to 1.
same.
I'm gonna go 1, 3, 2.
Aren't you exaggerating just a touch on that?
No.
Okay. All right. So what do you think number 1? The first one we had, what would you guess that is?
Say Blanton's.
Blanton's.
So you guessed the big glass was Blanton's.
That's my guess.
Wrong.
I'd say benchmark.
Or
Wrong.
ER.
It was Benchmark. So Benchmark was your number 1 choice there,
Oh,
Craig.
wow.
Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Very interesting.
So 2, what would you gander to? I mean, this is, you got a 50-50 shot.
I would say
Blanton's.
2's Blanton's.
2's Blanton's. You are correct. 2 was Blanton's.
I haven't had ER for so long that I was not a fan.
And 3's Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
So
That's good. That was my first Eagle Rare.
I was wrong.
Or I'm sorry,
I
yeah.
went Eagle
So,
Rare
yeah.
with my number 1,
Yeah.
Blanton's number 2, Benchmark number 3.
I'm sorry, I went 2. I was not a fan of at all, and I enjoyed it a couple months ago though, and now was not
Your
a fan.
palate's shit, but you admit that on every single episode.
Dog shit in you,
I
dude.
do.
So you're just like, it's bourbon, whiskey, it's good.
So in all honesty, though, if price per pour, how good is the Benchmark? I mean, Benchmark's number 1 for you. You'd enjoy the Benchmark.
Oh, what, $20-some though, and that's an everyday picker upper though. So
Yeah.
I would hands down, I would go Benchmark for sure.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, there's other cheap ones I've
But for 20 bucks,
Ty, how much cheaper do you want to go?
military special.
$20. Jesus Christ!
Cancer
You cheap
causers.
trick.
Put $5 in the star card, get some military special.
God.
For 20 bucks, obviously it tricked his palate. I mean, it's
What's interesting though is that the most expensive out of the 3 was Blanton's, right?
yeah.
And
in
it,
two.
and it didn't rank number 1. Period.
Which one did he put all the way to the right?
That was the Blanton's.
Blanton's.
I did.
Yeah. So I mean, a $40 bottle, a $20 bottle, we're basically, 2 to 1. You guys outscored them, but I mean, if we put more people on, I'm sure we would have seen Benchmark.
Based off what you put up there, I guess we would definitely say the ER though too.
Yeah, so I guess our listeners actually, they're right. ER is better
Yeah.
than Blanton's. If you had to pick a bottle after doing the blind, I think I would go for the ER.
Yeah.
Case in point, we're much dumber than our listeners as usual. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Thanks
no
for clearing that up.
shocker.
I mean,
Well,
duh. Like, why do we even do this? We're just a bunch of idiots.
You know why we do this? It's so I can get a sponsorship by Chicken Cock Whiskey. Still not sponsored.
Another podcast with you pulling a bottle of chicken cock out.
Yeah, I mean, my glass is empty. Got to put something in there.
Which one you have there?
This is the chicken cock rye.
Excuse me. Yeah, you need to buy another bottle.
I got 6 on the way. Calm down.
Please, chicken cock, please. Listen, we're not making any more lewd jokes about chicken cock for a while. I don't know how long I can contain myself.
What time is it?
No, it's young. We weren't going to do it on air at least.
8:05.
Maybe we do it when we set up on the patio.
It'll probably be Tuesday or tonight.
Speaking of lewd jokes, Dan, I'd actually like to address something that, get on my soapbox for a second here. Happened a couple episodes ago. We were sitting on the podcast having a couple jokes, though, and I made a joke about your mom is my screensaver. You remember that?
Yeah. And
Your mom remembers that.
Let me finish.
My mom remembers
Let me
that.
finish that. So I made a joke of having your mom as my screensaver, and I think 2 days later, you and I were sitting outside smoking and joking again, and you looked at me and said, "Hey, my mom told me to tell you something. Tell Craig I listened to the podcast." I seriously want to say, Miss Taylor, I'm sorry. I do understand why mothers eat their young in the wild. I apologize in all sincerity if I offended you, but hey, call your boy. Call me, please.
He needs a new photo.
Dude, my dad's going to beat that ass. You ain't got to worry about my mom. You got to worry about dad now.
What is wrong with you?
Dan, I love you.
That's what happens when you're adopted. You know?
I just want somebody that wants me.
He was just want to be wanted. So speaking of being wanted, and we're not okay. Go ahead.
We got to do. Listen, I told you guys be prepared. I want to know what your top 3 whiskeys that you still want in your collection are.
Well, that's where I was going to go to with talking about being wanted. But go ahead. You're the host of the show. I'm the side show. Go ahead. Continue.
I feel bad now.
I'm sorry.
I want you to feel wanted. I want you to want me.
I was like, oh man, this is perfect transition. But go ahead.
Did good.
Go ahead. You take over.
You did good. Go.
Jackass. No, it's your show.
No, it's yours. Your turn.
So what's your top 3 whiskeys that you're still looking for?
All right.
He's salty as hell.
So I got the Stolen Wolf Port Cask PA Rye that hasn't come out yet.
You're not getting it. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I mean, we'll get it for you.
Okay. Soon. This one might be.
That's a good shout out for Stolen Wolf.
Yeah.
Because their shit's prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The IW Harper 15-year. I was impressed with the. I got a bottle of the Cabernet cask when we were down in Louisville, and I drank that like in a month. And I was really impressed with this. I was like, I wonder how the 15-year is. And then any Empire Rye. There's about 6 distillers that got together to be the Empire Rye Coalition.
Mafia.
Yeah, that to establish the New York State Empire Rye recipe of like 75% New York grain rye, 25% other malts and grains. And I'd like to try one of those. Compare to like PA rye, see and Maryland rye, see what.
So like I'm taking notes over here for like Christmas and birthdays. It's like an Empire. Yeah, turn to your notes when you're done.
Luckily, Ty's cheap.
That's cheap Christmas.
Yeah, when he said there's cheaper bottles out there than the $23 benchmark. Okay. Well.
So I'm going through my head here. I'm like, after the podcast, I'm curious to hear what Connor and Jim have on their list. To contrast against what we have. But heads or tails, which one of you wants to go first? Craig. Gregory.
The Tater and me, I'm big into the Blood Oaths, trying to collect them though. I've really been wanting a Blood Oath Pact 1, but what's he saying down there?
Fucking continue.
You know what? When the adults are talking down here, zip it, Daniel. Ooh. What's up? Blood Oath Pact 1 though. Unfortunately, that bottle generally on the secondary run like $1,800 though. So not anything I'm getting anytime soon. After we had our podcast with the Huffs Liberty Pole, Jim mentioned the Redbreast 27. So it's one of his all-time favorite pours.
Yeah.
And I keep on seeing it every now and then pop up though, and there's been a big part of me I would love to get that Redbreast 27, share a pour with all of us, with Jim though, and be able to get that bottle though. And then my other one, I don't know, thanks to Connor over there, I've really been trying to eyeball like an EHT 4-grain, Grain of the Gods though. That's probably up there on my tater list though too, of bottles to get though, I would say.
That's a big bottle.
It is.
But I wouldn't have thought the Redbreast though, because I don't know if I've ever seen you drink Irish.
It just, when he talked about it, I had one of your pours over here, though. It's just been one of those pours that, not even just my palate, but just for somebody like Jim to be able to sit down, because it was such a good person, though. He's always been so good to us, though, to be able to get that bottle, though, and to be able to share it with the Huffs, though, their dad, though, Jim, and to be able to have that crack with him, though. Really has been something I've thought about a lot, and I would love to be able to bring that bottle to the table, though.
Yeah.
No, and it kind of embraces the whole essence of whiskey, right? It's better with friends. I mean, it's nice having a pour every once in a while alone, maybe when the rain's coming down, but, I mean, the whiskey is fun because we get to fellowship, right? Crack jokes on each other, talk shit.
I agree, but with you three, every pour is better alone.
Yeah, anyways, we're done with you. Dan, you're three.
So, top of the list, number one, you can probably guess it. Chicken cock.
Red Stave?
No, the 15 year. The 15 year.
The 15 year.
Yeah, that's $5.99 a bottle.
Ooh. Hint, hint.
Have you had it?
No, I have not had it. You can only get it down at the distillery.
Really? So it's
a trip. You got to take it to trip.
So when we go down to do what we're going to do in Kentucky, is that one that you're going to put on your target?
Yes, that's on my target list.
That's a hefty bottle. Yeah. I haven't even begun to really think about bottles that I would put on my list for that trip, but
that's the number one bottle for my trip down there.
Start saving now.
Yeah. So number two is going to be the Rare Hair Lucky Bastard 30 year.
Oh.
It's not a crazy expensive, stupid bottle. I just think it'd be something that they make a good product. I think it'd be pretty good. Very enjoyable, I would hope, especially being a 30 year.
Yeah.
And to continue with that, I like my Delmore. Mm-hmm. Would definitely like to try Delmore 30 year.
Yeah.
God, that's my tater bottle. That's the tater bottle right there.
Yeah.
Other two, I could afford to come out of pocket, but that 30 year Delmore, that's going to be pricey.
So that's on my list, actually. It's the only Scotch on my list.
The 30 year Delmore?
The 30 year Delmore. Yeah. Number one, though, is Old Fitz 10. And I know that sounds crazy, right? Old Fitzgerald 10. And it's something, I've had the 8, I've had the 10, I've owned the 8, I've owned the 10. I drank them thinking you could get another one. I haven't seen it in the wild in years. So now, if you live in PA, the 8 was on our wonderfully managed, well-operated, state-of-the-art online state store.
Fine wine, good spirits.
Fine wine and good spirits. I mean, you're talking tip of the spear when it comes to technology and integration, right? It was on there. They sold, I think they sold something like 750,000 bottles. They only had, 400 bottles to sell. But, they're so advanced, they're predicting the bottles will fall out of the air. I don't know. Anyways, the 8 was there, the 10 wasn't. And so I hopefully got an 8. Doubt it. But I really want the 10 year. That's my number one. My number 2 is that Masters, is it Wild Turkey's Voyage. I really love that bottle so much that I want to add it to my collection. I mean, it's if I were to incorporate what you guys have over here and you keep in your shelves. So if you don't know, the guys all have their own shelf. It's the library. They can drop whiskey off here. Switch bottles out.
Other than that, or Jason holds our bottle hostage and says, "Leave them on your shelf." That's usually what happens.
Lately it's gotten even so bad that I think Craig and I today we had to do a little shelf reorganization, and what was the name of those 2 bottles?
Tomstown out of Kansas City.
We're looking at the bottles going, where the hell did I get these? I never bought this, and I thought Ty bought them, but you had bought them, and somehow they were on our shelf. Anyways, so I love the Masters Keep, and I don't want just to drink yours. I want one for my own. So, and then the Dalmore 30 year. It was a tough call between the Dalmore 30 year and the Balvenie 30 year. I had the Balvenie 30 year when we were in Germany. I had it at the Napoleon Hotel. It was phenomenal, and I wasn't huge into Scotch then. So I only imagine what it would taste like now that I have a deeper appreciation for Scotch and what it can do, Man, I miss Germany though. To have that with a good, shank steak or something. That'd be right up the Oh man, I'm hungry now.
When aren't you hungry?
Took my breath away a little bit.
I don't think we could take a snack break for you.
We could hit pause.
Hey,
I'm hungry.
you can suck on these nuts.
Are you sick? Oh, you got nuts. Sweet. Get some lines out the gutter.
Goes good with whiskey.
A little sheet
Those
special.
are actually pretty good.
Little
sheet
salted
nuts?
almonds.
Salted nuts.
Yeah, salted nuts.
Better than no nuts at all. So, but yeah. Dan, while I'm munching on nuts.
You know what else is goes good with nuts? Baseball. You know, you
What?
Cracker Jacks, some
Peanuts, hot peanuts.
Okay.
Hot peanuts. Get your peanuts here. But no, there's a lot going on. End of the season again. Pirates,
Yeah.
another losing season. We're used to
Oh,
it.
the Pirates.
And a bunch of cheapskates.
Bunch of cheapskates, but you look at what they did to Tellez. You know, they dropped him. They released him when he was 4 at-bats away from reaching that $200,000 bonus.
That does not make you want to sign for the club again.
And the big thing is now, what free agent's going to want to come to Pittsburgh if you're going to cut me towards the end of the season when I'm close to collecting a bonus? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a bad look. That's
Yeah, for them, that's like pennies. Come on.
So what happens? I got to ask a question. Being a Braves fan growing up, watching the Pirates be this powerhouse back then, and then the Braves did it the right way, right? They grew their talent, they signed them, they kept them, they brought in some outsiders, but really their farm system, they kept the players that their farm system created, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Pirates just seem is Bob Nutting? That's how you say his last name, right? Nutting.
Yeah.
Let's just say everything right there, right? Is this guy just that greedy of a son of a bitch?
Oh, 100%. He makes more money with a losing season than he would with a winning season because of the TV
So how
rights.
do you get around this dude? Because he owns the Pirates. What else does he own? He owns Wiggle Whiskey.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, did I say that? I wasn't supposed to say that.
Oh,
He just sold Seven Springs in Hidden Valley. He had that for a while. He sold that to Epic.
Yeah, but it's all about
Reveal.
it's all about the bottom dollar. Instead of bringing a dynasty, a winning team to Pittsburgh, we're used to winning with the Steelers. We're used to winning with the Penguins. You know, the Pirates it's the farm league system to the rest of the majors because you get these good players like Paul Scanis.
Yeah.
And a year from now, they'll get rid of them for 3 future draft picks. And the Yankees will pick him up or another like
And he'll win
powerhouse.
like 5 Cy Youngs and 2 World Series.
Yeah, I mean, same thing that happened with Garrett Cole. You had Garrett Cole, got rid of him for pennies on the dollar.
It's such a contrasting difference between the Rooney family and what Nutting does, right? Like the Rooneys want to win. Generations, they want to win.
Yeah.
They try to build a good roster every year.
You're winning. You're packing the stadium.
Yeah.
You're losing. People don't want to go see losers. You want to support the hometown team, but at the end of the day, you get tired of just paying the $50 for parking, outrageous ticket prices, and then what you're going to pay for food.
When the end result's going to be just disappointment.
Well, we said at the beginning of the season, we're like, oh, the Pirates are starting strong, right? Everybody was hyped up.
I called it. I said they were going to go ahead and nosedive soon as the All-Star break hit. And the thing that scares me is you look what's going on in Oakland. Oakland just had their last home game ever in Oakland. Is that going to happen to Pittsburgh?
Do you think it could really happen to Pittsburgh?
I think it could. If somebody offered Nutting enough money, I'm sure somebody would take the Pirates to another market, like Las Vegas with Oakland, maybe.
Yeah, what other market is out there? Columbus?
Maybe Oakland. Maybe you see the Pirates move to Oakland.
Salt Lake City is a big
Salt
sports
Lake
town
City.
now. They just got hockey.
It's sad because I've really, not a native, PA guy, but I've really embraced Pittsburgh. It really is a city that is just, it's got my kind of mentality. It's kind of got that like fuck you mentality, right? I mean, it's just it's a steel town. It's a blue collar, even if it's transitioned to white collar, but it's a town of like just hardworking kind of go get it done dudes, right, and gals, and give them a fucking baseball team, man. Like, dude, it's I don't understand the greed level of some of these cats, right?
Oh, there's like the Oakland move to Las Vegas. Oakland now has no professional teams whatsoever in the city of Oakland, which is just
empty.
foul, absolutely foul.
Well, I mean, the whole state is not exactly in very conducive for business growth. Period. And Oakland didn't want to pony up Jack Dick for a new stadium for the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
The basketball.
They moved to San Francisco.
They moved. Was it? I thought it was Sacramento. San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
San
So
Francisco.
they didn't want to give them a new arena there. It was crap arena. So I mean, at some point, it's inevitable, right? If you've got rampant crime, a shitty economic situation where there's no tax advantages, I mean that's a business. That was a good business decision for Oakland, the Oakland Athletics. I don't like it, but the difference is if you talk about that in relationship to Pittsburgh, they love their sport. We were packing Three Rivers State, or it's not Three Rivers.
PNC Park.
PNC Park, yeah. So I'm going all the way back to when the Braves dominated. Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, when we hit that wild card game when we were hot, it was packed.
And we have a beautiful stadium on the river. I mean, it's one of the most gorgeous stadiums in all of baseball to sit in at any seat.
Yeah.
So we might be safe for a while before they move.
I
I don't know. The stadium's now, what, 20, 24 years old?
Is it really?
Wow.
24, 25 years old?
Yeah, I've been there for a while. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I remember Camden Yards was like the first, like 1994. That was like the first new style stadium. They were getting away from like the old like
Oh, you know
round.
what? You may be right.
Camden
because
Yards set the tone for new
for
stadiums.
all the stadiums.
I mean, Atlanta, they went through 2 new stadiums because they wanted
You
to
got rid of Fulton County Stadium.
because they wanted to move it out of the hood.
Yeah. And then they went to Turner Field, which was in downtown Atlanta, right across from Fulton. And that's gone now. So, yeah, I think you're right. But, I mean, PNC Park's beautiful.
It is beautiful, but
It's right in the heart of the city. You can walk right across the river.
you don't even have to walk across the river.
Well, no,
you
I'm
go
just
right
saying,
outside the
like,
stadium. You got the North Shore and everything to
we
do down
watched-
the North Shore.
We watch them walk across and have, night. You go to the hotels and the bars.
Oh, yeah, you walk across Clemente Bridge. It's just an experience.
I remember a couple times with friends. We parked a boat outside of the PNC though, and great fireworks show though, and you can sit outside there too, watch the Pirates game though too. Obviously, you can't see inside the park though, but it's just a great time on the river though. So it's
Well, you can.
beautiful aesthetically
So you
pleasing.
can. Well, the wedding we were at for that Saturday night, you can actually, where we were at, we were only up 3 floors. You can actually see into the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you're on the upper floors, you can sit there and in your underwear.
He's
have a
talking
bag
about
of
being on a
Cheetos.
boat on the river, though.
I said boat river there, dummy. There's no 3rd floor on the river.
So
That's your problem, not mine.
buy a better boat, bro.
So talk about buying a better boat.
I can do one quick thing with Oakland.
Yeah.
No.
Quick pop quiz. What is the most moved franchise like in any sports?
The most moved? It's got to be Oakland.
Oakland. They were in Philadelphia in the
Yep.
early 1900s. Then went to
Baltimore.
Kansas City in the 50s, 60s, and then they moved to Oakland. Now they're going to
I thought they were in
Vegas.
Baltimore for a little bit.
No.
They were? You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, they were Philadelphia A's. They won a couple championships there in like the early 1900s, and then
Well, the Braves were in Boston.
I think St. Louis Browns went to Baltimore. I think.
The St. Louis Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Wait. You had the Boston Braves. You had the Milwaukee Braves.
Mm-hmm.
The Atlanta Braves. Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just interesting seeing all these teams move around.
You don't think we'd really lose our team, though?
I don't know. I think if there was the right price out there, I think he's greedy enough to sell the team if the right price was out there. And you sell the team and somebody wants to move it, it is what it is.
Based off the video you sent today, Dan, there's a price. Remember that?
Everybody has
One versus $2 million.
I told you everybody has a
Everybody
price.
has a price. But speaking of prices, what about the kid from UNLV? Since we're talking about Vegas, the
this
quarterback.
guy. Yeah, I don't know where I stand on this. This is one part I told you so for the NIL process, and one part. What the fuck is wrong with these kids nowadays, man? Like,
Well, tell the backstory for it though.
so the kid played at I don't remember the name of the university, but it was a smaller school. It was like a Division II back when there was Division II, and he was made certain promises from his side of the story to go to UNLV that he would receive. I think one of it was a car and a cash stipend and some other whatever sundries. Now we don't know everything, and the media doesn't know everything because it hasn't been disclosed. But my guess, and from what it sounds like, is there was no contract written. So that's foul number one.
But you're not going to have those contracts in college. It's just, hey, here's an NIL deal. It is what it is.
But listen, I mean, I will. If you can learn anything from this, was the college football world not watching at what happened at my school at University of Florida with Rashada, year before last, where this guy boosters and outside influencers, certainly not the coaching staff, made promises to give this dude, I think it was like $10 million, and then when he got there, the coach, who at the time was Billy Napier, I think it was his first or second season, is like, bro, don't come to me for the check. We don't know what you're talking about. And this kid ran off, decommitted. He went to some other school, hasn't done jack dick because he wasn't worth $10 million. Shocker. And I think now he's a starter at Arizona or some other worthless school. It doesn't, really do anything. The point being that there needs to be something, a collective, a union. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. More guidance,
because I mean, it's foul for his team. You come in, you go 4-0, you're looking good. Yeah. Now you're like, hey, promises weren't kept. I'm sitting out. I want to be redshirted, and I want to enter the transfer portal.
But that is a direct result of this NIL crap.
Yeah.
We have absolutely destroyed the lines between.
So would it be better than just pulling up with a car and a bag full of money?
It was when I was in school. I mean, we knew. I mean, I'm being serious. We knew the athletes who were getting paid. It was no big deal. I was like, "Yo, get Ricky Bobby that freaking Ferrari, bro. We need him running. We need him running touchdowns." I don't care. Southern Methodist University, right? SMU. Mm-hmm. What happened to them? What did they get?
Death penalty.
They got the death penalty, right? And here we are now. I think that was 50 years ago, right? And you now have Reggie Bush suing USC. Not only did he get his Heisman back, I got no problem with that, but now he's suing them for back NIL-related money that he could have made legally if that rule had been in place.
Yeah, I don't think that one's going to work out. That's like saying everybody who got arrested for selling marijuana
should get their records wiped clear as soon as it goes legal.
Yeah, as soon as it goes legal. No, it's not going to happen.
But this is the slope that these athletes are on now. Now, I've got no problem, and Connor has talked about this because he was a D1 athlete. He was a D1 football player. There deserves to be a revenue-sharing output. They bring the football team and the basketball teams generally bring in the most amount of money to that university's sports scholastic fund.
Yes.
And the university. So, and it isn't fair to some degree that the demands placed on these kids to perform at a high level and go to class and do all the other crap. Oh, and by the way, under the old system, they couldn't hold a damn job. So most of these kids, and I witnessed this, they were living off their meal cards. They were going to practice. They were going to school. That was it. There wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah.
Wasn't a lot of money. You play college football? I mean, it's stupid. So the old system was absolutely dumb, and the new system is absolutely out of control. Because if you're on the kid's side, got no problem with you being on the kid's side, he was lied to. Why would any recruit trust UNLV again? If it was the coaching staff that made those promises, the university, somebody that represented the university officially. If it was boosters, bro, don't trust boosters.
No.
All you have to do is look at Florida. And you should go, I ain't going to trust boosters. I mean, just go back to the old system where you paid under the table. I mean.
So do you think, here's my question though, because this is a first, things didn't work out the way he wanted. Now he's going to sit and not play and refuse to play so he could be redshirted because he didn't go past those games. Do you see this becoming a trend with more people if they don't get what they want,
or they want another 2 times?
If they want to demand more money, you know what? I'm not going to play. I'll sit out and enter the transfer portal next year.
It just happened again. It happened with the little brother of Trent Whittemore, who was a Florida recruit, who then transferred to UCF, and his brother. Man, I want to say it was Mississippi State. He's a quarterback at Mississippi State. And he just announced that he's redshirting.
I think it'll depend on what happens with these these guys that are doing it here, whatever happens with them, if it ends up being a good move, you're going to see people follow them. if it ends up exploding in their face.
But see, the
not
entire NIL has become a weird gray area, right? So if you look at what happens, there's two extremes, right? You have the Florida State scenario and you have the Clemson scenario. Clemson, Dabo Swinney doesn't like the NIL for whatever reason. Doesn't like the transfer portal. He's not a big fan of the NIL, giving players money, although they do. And then you've got FSU, who loves the transfer portal, and they built their entire roster out of the transfer portal, pretty much. How well is FSU doing this year?
Well, I don't know.
They're one
do
and
you
three.
think
They
schools
stink.
like Clemson, though, look at your big schools, your Alabamas, your Georgias, your Ohio State, your Michigan, these schools that can offer so much money who is the highest paid person on any college, any big name college? Who's the highest paid person? Michigan, Florida.
Coach. It's all the coach. It's
probably
always the coach.
Texas, we got Archie
Yes,
Manning.
it's the college football coach.
Yeah, Archie.
It's always a college football coach.
And there's so much money for some of these players to
And they
make.
can
What would
leave
you
anytime
take?
they want.
Well, look back in the day. You take like a Larry Fitzgerald. Would he have gone to Pitt over Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State?
Oh,
where he
yeah.
would have gone. If you know you can make more money but have less playing time, which one are you going to go with? Before it was all about what's best for your career.
Well,
Now, when a
before it was
dollar
progressing
sign-
to the NFL.
Correct. It was about progressing to the NFL. But now when someone says, well, you could progress to the NFL, but right now you have a guaranteed X amount of
$15 million
dollars.
for 3 years.
And so in a way, college football teams can now buy. Like the Yankees have a big budget.
Yeah.
And some of these teams right here, like, I don't know what Clemson's budget is.
So what are you thinking? Because here's when you say that in that way, here's what I'm hearing. There should be a monetary cap on what a university in its totality pays its college roster.
Yeah, I would agree because
Balance it. What do you think?
Here's the thing: there needs to be a cap. There needs to be more roles and plays because you look at Kev Williams for Chicago, right? He was getting that NIL money last year. It's creating prima donnas. Now they all think they're worth, coming out of college, $20, $30, $40 million.
He got a $25 million. Caleb Williams got a $25 million signing bonus at Chicago to be dog shit
Yeah.
so far and paint his fingernails. Just saying. I don't know. I don't know where the happy median is. I do know this, that there are 10 universities I can think of off the top of my head that are mega universities money wise, right? Like that are either Jordan branded or they are just larger than life. Notre Dame being the one that's not Jordan branded, right? So all the Jordan branded schools make a ton, just an absolute ton of money off of that. You don't even get considered for that level of money or that sponsorship unless you have that capital there. How is it fair? And Florida's one of them, and they suck because they just haven't got the right coach, and that happens. But how do you compete if you're like, for example, Ole Miss, and you have Lane Kiffin, who's an outstanding coach, and you've got old money in Ole Miss? But how do you compete against a Florida who literally at the end of the season is probably going to reach out to Lane Kiffin and, bro, here you go, dude. Here's the keys to the kingdom. Here's more money that you can even understand. And, oh, by the way, this is your chance to prove that you can really do it at one of the big money schools. How do you compete if you're Liberty or if you're, I don't know, Southwestern,
JMU, James Madison.
How do you ever compete? How do you realistically ever compete? Appalachian State, you may shock the world every once in a while, beat the hell out of Michigan, but how do you really ever get the chance to compete now when we have injected money into the sport? That, I mean, when I was 18, if you'd offered me $2 million, shit, if you offered me $2 million right now, I'm liable to get crazy. How do you compete with that? That's all.
Oh, yeah, especially being 18, 19 years old.
It's too much money. It's just, and I get it. These kids are doing a lot, but I don't know. And the other side of me, though, I guess gets really, practical with it. You're offering some of these kids, $2 or $3 million in college to go and play football. Maybe we should give, our warriors that go down range and fight a little bit more money. That's where our value.
I'll agree with that.
That's where our but that's about value systems, right? That's about what we value. We don't value personally.
Your opinion.
We don't value my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I think right now though it's a broken It's a very, very badly broken system. And what's the impact going to be on the NFL?
Yeah, a bunch of prima donnas. Bunch of prima donnas that can't play, that are spoiled, that are like, I deserve the world. And then when you get to that level, you can't compete.
No work ethic.
It's gone.
Yeah, no work ethic because I'm getting paid. Like, if you're getting paid, how much work are you really putting in to be the best of the best?
You're always going to have that group of kids, though, that they got a competitive fire, right?
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, what's the most prima donna position in football? Connor, what's the most prima donna position in football?
Quarterback.
Followed by what, you think?
Receiver.
Wide receiver.
Fuck you guys.
Good thing for Danny was the water boy.
Get a water. I didn't say do it down and out. I said go get the water.
I brought that water faster than him.
Hot quality H2O.
I brought the H2O.
Gatorade.
I'm just saying, yeah, there's got to be something because I think we're going to see it happen. We're going to see it kind of cascade into professional football, and it's going to have. I mean, I think we're already seeing it. I think we're seeing quarterbacks that weren't ready to go into the NFL, and then they get. I mean, essentially, they get the shocker put in them their first season, and they ain't ready. They don't want to. I think they're ruined. You ruin them.
Yeah.
So you deflower them on the first date. Nah, they're done.
Or they go to the shitty franchises like Carolina and then like.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't know. Andy Dalton came out and balled out last week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it goes with experience, being able to read defenses and putting that work in. If you have a quarterback you could study behind, you're going to be that much better. But now you're putting these rookie quarterbacks into this situation where they're not prepared, they're not ready, they have the weight of the world on their shoulders. So not only do they got all that added pressure, they don't have the years of experience of understanding that offense, what the offensive coordinator wants from them.
Yeah,
And now, you're throwing interceptions. You can't throw a touchdown to save your life. A year, 2 years, 16 games, they're yanking you out, and now you're labeled as a second-string quarterback.
Yeah, that's been going on for years. And I think, the quarterbacks we grew up on, they all sat for a year or two.
Steve Young behind Joe Montana.
I mean, even Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith. And look at him. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers behind Brett Favre.
Yep.
Jordan Love behind Aaron Rodgers. I mean, so there's a template there, right?
I mean, you have a couple of special ones like Peyton Manning, but I mean, he had a crappy first year. But
yeah, I mean, one-offs are always, what's his name? C.J. Stroud is a one-off. Peyton Manning was a one-off. But I mean, even if you look at the dude, I can't remember his name because I just forgotten about him. Plays for Arizona, quarterback for Arizona.
Kyle Murray.
Yeah. He struggled. He was on the struggle bus.
But he found his way.
He found his way. But he was able to use his other athletic gifts to kind of balance out the horrendous nature of their offensive line at the time. But,
Dude, I'm drawing a blank. Who went from Ohio State to LSU and won a national championship?
Burrow.
Yeah, he left Ohio State.
Yeah, he left Ohio State. There's the only way that he was going to get a national championship.
Correct. He was a second. He was not playing.
Third
correct.
string. He was like third string, right?
Because you guys can't win championships. You can just show up and get dealt with. Are we really going to go down this road again, Craig?
Okay, I'm going to pull you guys back right now because we get this on
Urban Meyer, pretty much
we were just talking about people who sat behind somebody,
Joe
but
Burrow.
he sat second, third string at Ohio State, went to LSU. Won a national championship though, and he was sitting in Ohio State, not even playing though.
Yeah. You did that. You did that with the coach we threw away from Florida. Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's interesting. It's going to change the whole dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
One way or another, and probably not for the better.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Before we sign off, guys, we want to wish two things. One, we want to wish everybody that was in the path of the hurricane. We hope you're safe and. Prayers going out for you guys from Florida. Been through the hurricanes before. These things are nasty. I hope that everybody's homes were not affected too much or at all, and that everybody can return, back to their lives as soon as possible. If you're still in the storm's path, please don't risk it. It's not worth it. You can replace everything, but you can't replace life, and we've seen that happen. Katrina, that'll forever be burned in my mind of what happened down in New Orleans. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to some new friends from Miami, Florida that I met this week in Ohio, and they were all whiskey people and super cool. Appreciate you guys following us, and hopefully you're going to listen to this podcast. You know,
Bachelor
maybe you get
Fave
something
doing
for
his
it.
thing.
I'm just saying, listen, we got to support our fellow whiskey peeps. You know what I mean? So
Hey, we got to shout somebody out for a birthday, don't we?
we do. As a matter of fact, it is Jim Wiggins' 73rd birthday. I'm just sorry. He's over there like, you son of a bitch. No, but happy birthday, Jim. He's been on the podcast a bunch, and he'll be on a bunch more. Super great dude. We really enjoyed just having him as part of the larger family, and we're going to sign off of here. We're going to go upstairs. We're going to have some pours in his honor. How old are you today, Jim? 38? You look like you're 58. You sure?
Man, I thought my beard was gray.
Did you? Oh, you colored your beard again.
You know I did.
Like Just for Men. She's like Wilt Chamberlain. That son of a bitch.
Hey, I'll take a sponsorship from Just for Men too.
Yeah, at least he doesn't look like Ryan Day. With like, cool.
Speaking of, when are you going to do yours? Because you're like a
Yeah,
red
there's like patch right here. I don't know.
the patch. Like
Every morning I got this like new gray hair that's like
a
longer.
zebra shit on your face or
Patch,
something.
Ty,
Hey,
you
that's
got
why I
like
got
a
a
lamb
diet.
mask there, dude.
Yeah. Like a Brillo pad. What does that feel like? Never mind. I'm not going to even go there with it.
So anyway,
So, anyways, this was episode 51.
Yeah, episode 51. That's awkward. Like what I say, guys, thanks for tuning in. Give us a like and a follow. Check us out on www.bullitsandbourbon.com. We got all of our merch on there. And a couple days left to get signed up for the bottle, for the giveaway. Next month's giveaway is going to be pretty dope. We got some pretty fun stuff to give out. So stay tuned. As always, stay thirsty, my friends. Thank you for joining us. Cheers.
cheers.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.